Hey there, folks. This is a bit of a weird one. The Last Hero of Nostalgaia is intended to be a satirical take on the Souls-like games, and the basic gimmick of this one is that the world has been infected by the most evil thing you could possibly imagine. Pixels. Everything has started deteriorating into a more simplistic, basic form, reminiscent of nostalgic memories of our youth. And it's your job as the last hero of Nostalgaia to restore things back to their 3D glory, and it definitely commits to the bit. I'll give it that. Let's check it out and see if it's actually worth your time. I was actually planning to do this elaborate thing where my body parts would turn into pixels as the review went further. Alas, don't have the ability to make it happen. Anyway, I actually discovered this game a couple of months ago on Twitter, and I was fully intending to check it out myself, but thanks to Over the Moon and CodeSync, I actually managed to get my hands on a review code thanks to them, and I've been able to play this game over the last 2 weeks and check it out and see what I thought of its rather unique little style and aesthetic and sense of humor. So let's check it out. So right from the beginning, you can see that the game drops you straight into the super detailed customization screen, where you get a massive variety of options to style your character in whichever way you want. And I spent a load of time here making sure my character was as perfectly customized as I could make him before jumping straight into the adventure. You get to choose your starting class: the Datadin, the Resolutionary, the Formatter, the Sorcerer, and the Randomancer. And much like other Souls-like, this is just more of a starting template for what you begin with, and as you go further in the game, your ability to develop your stats and pick what you want will have a far greater impact on how your character develops than what you pick here.
It is called Nostalgaia, where the... Wait! Cut! Was that your customization screen? Oh, almighty save me. I don't know what you are, but you're no hero. And so it was the would-be hero became. Had it dignity, it would impale itself on its own appendages and rid us of its pixelated shame.
So the narrator's a bit of a jerk. I hope you enjoy his sense of humor, because he will basically hound you throughout the entire experience and insult you and mock you. I personally thought it was hilarious, but your mileage will definitely vary when it comes to whether this humor hits with you or not. Right from the get-go, Nostalgaia pretty much tells you what its influence is and make sure you're aware of it. If you have played any Souls-like game, the structure of this will be immediately familiar to you. Light attacks, hard attacks, parries, rolling, all the consistent systems that you're familiar with in Souls games are all here. And at least in the most basic mechanical sense, it doesn't really try to mix it up beyond that. So if you're looking for a reinvention of the genre, you're not going to find it here. But you will find novel systems and layers around the core mechanics that turn this into a super unique little experience that is quite unlike anything else in the genre.
By the almighty! Impossible! You're... What in the void are you?
Just FYI, I'm keeping a lot of this footage from early on in the game because I don't want to spoil any of the major reveals. It does have some interesting little story tidbits the further you go into it, but very early on you get to level up, do your usual Dark Souls stuff, increase your stamina and your energy, your luck and all that sort of stuff, and it impacts how you attack, how quickly your stamina regenerates. Stamina regeneration, I've noticed in this, has a wide variety of like speed depending on how much you put into the stats. And I found that pumping up on stamina regeneration and keeping your gear nice and light and going in with really fast attacks was slow. It felt like a absolute nightmare trying to beat things. But that may just be me. It does allow you to come up with a different variety of builds, just like any decent Souls-likes would.
It was undeniable that the scattered bundle of sticks remained pathetic, but something was amiss. The narrator, never confused, was curious.
One unique little system that plays into the pixel aesthetic of the game and restoring things to their proper form involves you basically trying to discover the pixelating memories of the gear and stuff that you collect. If you're able to find the location where that memory is stored, it will give you information and lore. Again, this is not being subtle about its references. It will give you information and lore about those items, and it will power them up with new abilities and improved stats that make it worth exploring the world and giving you incentives to check out all the different nooks and crannies of the different locations. And I do advise you check out locations because there's some rather unique places that you can find that definitely stand out from the rest of the game. Won't spoil anything. Again, you have to discover that yourself. I'm by no means a master at this genre. I would never claim to be, but I did find this to be a fairly fun and accessible entry into this series. It might be good, especially if you haven't been familiar with these games before and want to actually see what they're about, with a game that takes the ideas and condenses it down into a really fun, really unique little indie title. It's not going to set a new standard for the genre or anything, but if you want a good laugh and just a bit of fun with a concept that you're already familiar with, you really can't go wrong with The Last Hero of Nostalgaia. It's a lot of fun. I award it 7 dead pixels out of 10. Do let me know if you plan to check this out, or if you already have played it, what you thought of it. Please do consider doing all the usual YouTube jazz. I know you've all heard it 1,000 times before, but it really does help, and I'm only starting out, so it'll really help me build up the channel. Like, comment, subscribe, all that. But more importantly, take care of yourselves. Stay beautiful.